going to take like 3 rounds for the guys to figure that out. Way to settle that right away.
Are you receiving?
You guys are actually serving. All right, here we go.
And we are coming to you live from the Humble Civic Center Arena. I'm Nick England, joined on the mic by Michael Klinsman, and we have New Orleans underway as they take on Manhattan Beach. Current score 4-0. Simo leaves that one short in the net. Michael, we've seen a lot of action so far. We're bringing our fans online up to speed. What have you seen from these two teams, and what do you think we can expect so far?
We have a lot of strong middle attacks. So Savvy on this side about to receive the serve, unreal, thumb down line swing attack out of the middle. So look to see a lot of powerful swings on the outsides, on the pins, and then a lot of strong plays out of the middle. Really balanced offenses over round.
Big swing deflected off there. Point for Sowers. These two teams met yesterday. There was a 21-15, 18-21 split. New Orleans took the +3 overall, but this is going to be an exciting little grudge match to get us started in the first round of quarterfinals. Service from York.
Lots of float serves today in this arena as well. There's a slight breeze coming over the top of the court that's really making this ball move. A lot of fun to watch.
That'll be a side switch after a deflection off the block of Van Winkle. 5-2. It's still the standard 7-point switch that we're used to seeing. We'll kind of work through the rules as we get going, introducing fans, because there's definitely some new takes, bringing the 4v4 format, so that'll be fun to introduce as we get going. And Castillo now to serve. Outside to the pin, deflected off once again. Another point for Sowers.
Devanne's timing into ball is so good. She always has court vision because she's so patient in her approach. I like that a lot. Taking notes.
Van Winkle leaves that short. And the way the serving, this is a good opportunity to talk about the serving rotation. So there is a standard rotation similar to indoor. Everyone just goes through in a 1, 2, 3, 4 order. There are some subs that can make that a little bit tricky. No substitutions on either of these teams, so no worries, but we'll get there throughout the day. Frohling challenges deep with that float. Van Winkle, big swing, but bigger block.
4-6 lead.
Huge shutdown for Wood on the left side there.
Good bump set to the right. Kahlee.
Dug down the line by Frohling and thrown short on the block there by Van Winkle. It's fun. We've seen a combination from some of these players, you know, playing the AVP league. They've got a lot of that built-in synergy, some of them college teammates, and some people just finding some local friends that they can team up with. So a lot of synergy got worked out yesterday and getting into the action here today. But Van Winkle wasting no time controlling that left side of the net for New Orleans.
8-4, ladies.
8-4 is the score. Sowers to serve. Goes for the top spin. Great pass by Wood. Dug cover, but that's going to be another point. Van Winkle is on fire with 3 shutdown blocks right now on the left side in this set alone.
Devanne's jump serve putting a lot of pressure on this side out.
Oh, unlucky. Almost goes. They're allowing the let serve, so if that rolls, that is in play.
Wow. Arguably the best blocker in the game with another blocker.
Yeah, that's been the interesting thing here is you're seeing a lot of how are teams trying to construct their offense. Where are they putting their setters? Are they bringing them out of the back row? Are they leaving them up front blocking? And, you know, some of these teams like New Orleans, they just leave Savvy in the back row tracking everything down. And then the Twin Towers with Sowers and Van Winkle up front is just formidable.
I agree. She's doing a great job with her positioning, like in the back row. Savvy making great reads. Oh,
and there it
serve. Is. Found the seam. Well done.
Going at Castillo and Wood there.
Got a timeout from Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a tough one when you're getting doubled up. Right now, we're looking at the score being 11-5. And it's pretty controlling. We see the serving very, very formidable from the side of New Orleans. But I think the biggest piece here is their control on the net as a follow-up really, really is shutting down Manhattan Beach. What do they have to do?
I agree. I think we can push sets a little bit farther to the pins. It looks like a lot of them are dying inside a little bit. And so that like late diving inside hand is really effective right now. So if we get a little bit farther out to the pins, we might be able to get a couple like seatbelt line swings that could be productive, but you never know. These blockers are incredible with adjustments as well. So
yeah, and I think that's a great call. One of the tricks that we're dealing with here is so many of these players are used to playing the twos format where it's very difficult to ever push a ball fully out to the pin. And so some of those sets are kind of hanging and dying inside, which in a twos format makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
With fours, now you're clogging up that middle attack versus a right or a left. So you've really got to space that out, spread it out, and make sure the set comes out clean, which also makes that a bit challenging.
Yeah.
Back into the action here after that timeout. See if Manhattan Beach can rally back. Simo to serve. Good pass, middle option for Wood. She crushes that one through the block. Well done.
Great high reach on that swing. Well done.
If I recall yesterday, they were actually using Wood on the right side. I was trying to kind of make my way around. There was, 20 different teams playing, so it's hard to recall, but I think Wood was playing a little bit of right side yesterday, so they made some switches, bringing Castillo over.
I think they made the switch in their last game, the last set of their last game, and she had a couple like really clutch side outs out of the middle that obviously led to them sticking to their guns today. It's a wise switch.
York now to serve. She's been the hands behind the machine for New Orleans all day. Good block touch, but still Wood, too much power. Good call by you. That's exactly what they were seeing yesterday.
She's doing a great job of looking for hands as well. You can see like her eyes go from ball to left or right hand of blocker. It's brilliant.
One option there.
Wow.
Good swing just inside the line on the cross court. Nice swing from Sowers.
great bump set from a great human being. Kahlee is one of the kindest people in volleyball. I'm a huge fan of hers.
Makes it even better when she's delivering sauce like that,
Truly,
too.
truly. That
The
does
real
not
win-win.
expire. Yeah. Oh, what a serve. Wow.
There it is, the ace from Van Winkle. And this is going to be a technical timeout, little 1 minute breather, and it couldn't come a minute too soon. Manhattan Beach is on their heels. They are reeling right now.
Yeah. How would you approach this timeout if you're like coming into this huddle? You're down 7-14. How do you like rally as a team here?
I think the real thing you start discussing is you've got to outscore 2-1, and that's a tall ask. So I think it's start finding what works well and identifying what isn't, and start making small changes. Find one or two good things. Wood right now is kind of the highlight of their offense. So how do we get her more involved? How do we start mitigating, serve and pass is kind of telling a lot right now. And so Manhattan Beach needs to start shoring that up. So I think you're almost playing the momentum. Don't get in your own head. Don't start losing set 2 halfway through set 1. You got to start getting that momentum, that build up, find that energy. But if you're on the side of New Orleans, there is plenty of wind in the sails. Just ride this boat. Everyone's firing on all cylinders.
Truly a crisp high five and go back out there.
Exactly. Smile, nod, run it back.
Truly.
We do want to take one quick moment to thank all of the sponsors that have helped make this happen. That's going to be Waste Connections, Liberty Materials, Mikasa Volleyball, Jump Serve, and Volleyball USA, all working in conjunction here with City versus City to bring one of the very first and many more to come 4v4 beach volleyball tournaments, bringing the best talent from all over the country and some other countries as well, all to one place out in Humble, Texas this weekend. If you're just joining us, it's 14-17 New Orleans in the red bottoms versus the all-black Manhattan Beach, and we are underway.
What a set. Wow. Another excellent middle attack. They're running the strategy very well pregame. Well done.
We asked, what do you fix? What do you do? Wood is the answer right now.
Some of the men's teams were bringing, starting with 3 blockers up. That way they could mitigate, 2 or bigger angles from the middle. Even though you do expose yourself to that outside attack a little bit more, it might be prudent here.
Net violation called against Manhattan Beach there. To your point, that's actually something I think we've seen kind of break down a little bit. If there had to be one exposable chink in the armor there from the side of New Orleans, Abby and Sowers, they're struggling a little bit to come together to get that formed block and find out whose responsibility it is. So something to keep an eye on as well. Castillo from the right goes through Sowers for that one. Good swing and a point for Manhattan Beach.
Both of these setters are so incredible at the right side, back set. Their timing into the ball, their footwork is really setting them up for success. Their side out rate definitely reflected that yesterday. Another quality bump set.
Nice dig by Lindahl.
Yes, hands.
There's the overhead. And this time it was Wood. That goes long. Frohling just out the back of the court there. Savvy serving again. A little bit of trouble here. It's going to be a high ball to Wood.
There it goes. They brought the second one. It's a wise adjustment.
Well, she swings well in system and out of system, apparently.
Truly. Brings into question, is there such thing as out of system?
Especially when Wood is behind the ball.
Truly. Wow, what a serve.
Yeah, Lindahl really attacking that line well. Follows it up with a great dig. Wood once again. Castillo, well done. Sowers taking a little too much angle there, leaving that line. And that's been one of the adjustments is when you've got one-on-one blocking, you've got a blocker peeling off the net. Now where your 2 defenders setting up behind you, and unfortunately too much open court in the middle back right there.
Yeah.
Lindahl continues with the service run. Quick set to the outside. Good touch by Wood. Big point there for New Orleans, though. They needed to kind of truncate that run there. Lindahl put 3 or 4 together, and we said that's the strategy for Manhattan Beach. ignore the scoreboard, build the momentum.
Yes.
And right now you cannot. I mean, it feels pretty comfortable to say New Orleans is going to finish this with a 6-point lead, but you do not want to let Manhattan Beach get rolling. They were very successful when they kind of had that energy moving yesterday.
I agree, and these players are so good. Like, leads are never safe, like, honestly.
Very, very true. That one catches the line. You see it bounce. Good kill on the outside there for Frohling.
Pretty rare to see a line block on the outside.
Yeah.
Funnel in a lot of confidence in that back row and that outside defender. I respect it. Nice
Good dig by Castillo. Frohling's got a free ball. This one overtaken by Savvy. And Simo gets the set in the middle and puts it away like clockwork.
Yes.
Keep him honest. We haven't seen too many attacks. I think the first point we went live, we saw Simo attack out of the middle, and I don't think we've seen one since.
Yeah.
But, you know, keep the blockers honest. You got to respect, out of all players in the gym, you know.
Yeah, seriously.
We know Simo can put a ball away.
For real. What a powerful attacker. Like, she had some thumb down swings yesterday that were unreal.
Good take by Winkle. Covered by Simo. Off the block, no coverage. Manhattan Beach putting up the wall on the other side of the court.
It's been interesting. I feel like the right side blockers on the other end of the court have been really effective today. We have like 6 blocks in that little zone.
Might be an ace. Van Winkle can't track that one down. Off the platform of Sowers, that's going to be a big point for Manhattan Beach.
Very timely on that.
Yeah.
Ace.
Frohling brings Manhattan Beach down to just a 4-point deficit.
Wow.
Short float gets the ace, back-to-back aces. Sowers is getting targeted right now. And that's going to be a timeout on the side of New Orleans. All right, Michael, we've talked about a lot of things. Where is it coming back? You know, I think we're seeing good signs on the side of Manhattan Beach. Any concern for you on the side of New Orleans?
I think it looks like as this serve, the float serve is breaking over the net, we're starting to like raise a little bit and serve receive, and then whenever it like breaks down, we're having to get low late and push. That might be resulting in the last 2 errors, but I think as far as like passing and court vibe, they'll turn around and roll from here. They're such good passers, they'll make that adjustment for sure. I'd probably add a little like extra split step as that ball is crossing net, and I think that'll easily duct tape that error for sure.
Yeah, one of the interesting things, so we're actually in the Civic Center here the Center Arena hosts bull riding competitions. And so we're in a pretty big, interesting space, open-ended front and back with some fans in here. I've heard some mixed reviews, whether that's affecting the ball with different airflows at different heights. Some people say yeah, some people are saying no. So it'll be interesting to see if that's kind of impacting where the ball breaks over the net like you were referencing. Frohling to serve once again. Option to save that ball. Kahlee York doing the Lord's work, because that was going to be trouble for New Orleans. Goes off the high hands of the block there.
They actually set up a really good block, 2 up there. Kahlee just did a great job reaching high, as she does.
Sowers back to her top spin. Good pace, gets the ace. Puts us at set point right here.
That's a huge serve to get that momentum going into the other side. There's a huge difference between 1916 and 2015.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those weird magic tricks. Sounds really obvious, but after the point's been scored, kind of looking back at what could have been, how that 2-point swing, you can be really happy you're not in that alternative scenario. But we'll see if Sowers now can put this one away. Set point, 20-15. And she can, back-to-back aces. Maybe struggled a little bit in serve receive herself, getting ace twice, but she is more than capable with ball in hand. 21-15. That one goes to New Orleans. This is a best of 3, so set number 2 coming. We'll be right back.
Check. All right, Dallas and Austin, you guys will be playing next. The court on the far side where you're starting to warm up, it should be at women's height. We're trying to come onto this court, the main court, with just a few hits. So try to make yourself warm before you get there. Thank you.
They're going to take your seat, choice on side. You got it. We got 10, ladies, 10.
We're getting ready to get back into the action here for set number 2. This is New Orleans taking on Manhattan Beach. If you're just joining us, we just had a set number 1 win. Final score was 21-16 on the side of New Orleans. I'm Nick England, joined by Michael Klinsman. You are watching City versus City quarterfinals.
Hello, y'all. Glad y'all are here. Appreciate your presence, joining us for this great event. Talked to a couple of the players recently. They're talking about how it's like such a refreshing time, like in a different team environment than your like traditional doubles. I love that they're like experiencing the joy of the game in a new way.
A lot of competition, but also there's the kind of that casual love, and no casual love there. Sowers buries that ball down the line.
Wow.
Great look from her. Early lead here for New Orleans, 1-0. Simo attacks Castillo.
Sarah with a great hustle play.
Simo's got hands here. Sowers with a pokey over the top. Lands that one short for the 2-0 lead.
Devanne coming out of the gate batting 1,000. They love to see that on this side of the net.
Ending set 2 with 2 aces back to back. The shoulder is very warm right now. Set outside to Frohling. Good block touch to slow it down. But that's going to go through for Manhattan Beach. Frohling putting just too much on that one. But this brings up a great point. Small adjustment. So block touches in traditional 2s, 1 of your 3 touches. Here, you got 1 plus 3. So after that first contact, you still have 3 more full touches to play. So a little bit different for some of these players and fans at home.
It's funny to see that adjustment too. Like some people like forget about that.
Oh yeah.
They're like, oh.
Absolutely. Going backside there using Van Winkle. They haven't been setting her too much. Obviously her blocking's been authoritative to say the least, but it's been a pretty spread offense on the side of New Orleans.
Wow. Great serve.
Serve and pass. You heard it there on the floor mics that we've got set up, designed to really make you feel like you're on the court. You heard, I like that seam. Well, it's working very well. We'll see if Kahlee's able to attack that once again. York goes after Frohling there. Castillo tries to cut it back down the line, leaves that one wide. And now we're right back to where we were in set 1. A 5-1 lead opening up early for New Orleans.
Kahlee's doing a great job of serving directly down either seam. Seems really effective.
Free ball opportunity here. Simo out of the middle. Gets the tape bounce, and that's exactly what we were talking about. The blocks struggling to come together, and they're just leaving straight open, so the defenders are on either side of the block. That is wide open. It doesn't matter how hard you hit it straight into the tape. If it gets over the net, it's going to be a point.
No.
6-1 on the side switch. Manhattan Beach has got to get some mojo moving right now. Wood with a great pass. She gets the opportunity to swing, but is shut down by Sowers. The real big highlight of the early game for Manhattan Beach in set 1 was Wood attacking out of the middle.
And New Orleans finally getting an answer there. Great fix there for that set by Lindahl.
Great dig, Savvy. Wow.
Dug again by Wood. The rally continues. Roll shot picked up. Sowers out of it. Simo swings around, but swung by Van Winkle, and that one's going to get tossed up in a little bit of confusion. Good point and blocking there for Manhattan Beach.
It's a very timely block for them. Get some fresh fire on this side of the net.
Option out of the middle. Good dig by Lindahl. Wood swinging, and that one punishes through the block once again. Good help there by Castillo, finding that set to the front row for Wood. Tight ball, option swing. We've seen that work twice now for Kahlee. York turns well.
She's doing a great job with that last second step close, getting opened up to that angle to get a good snap on that ball. It's well done.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot less options. That's definitely blossoming in popularity in the twos game. But with fours, you know, you've got so many offensive options, you really don't need it as much. But some of these setters have been doing a great job making that an option. But Kaylee Sowers taking advantage of the line once again. We've said that several times now. She's doing a great job, and maybe we need to see a blocking adjustment because she is feasting on that line. Van Winkle goes short. Good take by Wood. Right back to her, high off the hands. Call's going to be a lift on that first contact there by York. You can hear Van Winkle voicing her displeasure. I saw what she saw too. It was basically a full swing, so I was a little shocked by this call. But you know, as a player with a lot more background in the indoor than the beach, I'm not gonna be the one to throw pebbles in glass houses here.
From my perspective, it looked like he was calling it on the second touch after Kaylee's touch. So I'm interested to hear the explanation after the
Either way,
switch.
I think New Orleans is as confused as we are, so I don't feel too bad about that one. Wood bangs that one off the outside hand of Van Winkle. 5-9, nice little resurgence here from Manhattan Beach as we swap sides.
Interested to see where they attack in the service line here. Try to get some more momentum pushing. This is where they really, New Orleans really pushed last game, was at this split to 7-14. So it'll be interesting to see how they counter that.
Simo takes that one, pushed all the way out. Sowers goes line, misses it for the first time just wide. They're looking for it, but that was pretty discernibly out.
Yeah, I saw out as well.
A small note, we saw that Sowers struggled a little bit at the end of set one. Also, Van Winkle and Simo, they have a lot of experience passing next to each other, so I think you're going to have a lot less luck exposing that seam compared to if you're looking at Sowers more. She's kind of the one that's the odd one out in terms of overall familiarity, so I think that's also something I'd be looking at is what existing chemistry between duos, pairs, things like that.
I agree. And you can see that comfortability too, and Savvy's taking that split to the left, like two step, drop to the left, try to close up that seam.
Sowers is crushing that jump serve.
Such a powerful arm swing. What a dig.
Back out, back to the middle. Wood tips over the top. We haven't seen her really go for the knuckles there, and that's a great time to do it. Well seen there for Manhattan Beach. Seven serving 10.
Wow, good pass.
Sowers pass, Sowers swings, Sowers misses, sends that one high and long. No touch from my vantage.
Let's go, ladies. Very much alive. Back with me.
And a little bit of player honesty. Good looks for Castillo. She calls her own touch there.
I admire that a lot. Well done.
Simo wasn't letting that one. She made it very apparent. She knew she was getting her call.
I love honesty points and like things that highlight good character in this game. I feel like that'll stretch far past this game.
And on the court, don't build up the bad karma. Don't want it coming back to bite you at an inopportune moment. Back set. Castillo leaves that one short in the tape, and that's going to be a 13-7, 6-point lead opening up here. New Orleans pushing this one into some scary boundaries if you're a Manhattan Beach fan. Good pass by Wood, recycled off the block.
Cover.
Another big swing dug by York. One-handed block to slow it down, put away by Castillo. And that's going to be our technical timeout coming to us the first time we reach 21 points every set. Take a quick 1-minute breather. All right, Michael, we are getting towards the dog days of set number 2, a 5-point differential between New Orleans and Manhattan Beach. What are we seeing? What do we need to fix?
We have Sarah just absolutely popping off out of the middle. I think that's like the bright light for Manhattan Beach. I think they keep like, harping on that like angle. She has great timing into the ball and then great vision. I mean, obviously siding out 4 out of 6, that's an unreal margin. But I would like to see like New Orleans probably closing that block a little bit because the outsides for Manhattan Beach are really driving a sharp angle. So if they can start their blocks inside and push out, that would be the adjustment I would go for.
Yep.
But obviously it's not like the ship isn't sinking. So it's like,
right.
No, if it ain't broke kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think on the side of Manhattan Beach, we're seeing moments of absolute brilliance. It's just kind of shoring up some of those fluctuations a little bit more. And how do you find that? And I think the big answer here is serve and pass. We're seeing a little bit more care on the reception side of New Orleans and a lot of aggression. You're seeing that mix-up between both Sowers' jump serve, Abby's going with the jump float, and then Simo, York, both working kind of that standing float. It's just so much variation that's really got Manhattan Beach on their heels. Quick breather, though. We'll see if, just a moment to get your head about you helps Manhattan Beach out here as they go to serve. That's going to be on Lindahl. Attacking Simo. Set goes back to Van Winkle. Good touch, nice pursuit. Wood gets a touch, but not enough to bring it back.
I love to see the effort out of both teams. I feel like there's not been a high ball that hasn't been chased down with max effort.
Oh, yeah. Going to Wood in the middle. Rolled over, picked up. Big swing blocked back. Castillo shutting down the net. Short ball picked up by Wood. Wood gets the option now. She swings, dug by Simo.
Nice up.
Bump set to the outside, and that one's going to roll over. Another dig by Wood. And this time Frohling takes a swing, dug by Simo once again. Sowers goes line angle. Beats Castillo down the line, middle back wide open, and that one's gonna score. What a great rally.
I agree. It's interesting. We've seen a couple like deep like zone 6 swings that have been really effective. If you can somehow get by that outside hand of the block into that zone 6, it's been really working.
Float. A little bit of chaos. Frohling takes 2. Castillo dug by Savvy. Sowers blocked now by Castillo.
Great cover.
High line. Good dig by Lindahl. Option on 2. Heads up play by Castillo at the net. Very good recognition right there where everyone was at. Just give yourself the easy point, head back to the service line.
A reward for her honesty earlier. Truly. Well done.
Catches Sowers high, a little out of system here. Deflected,
Nice
still have full 2 touches. Nice set. Wood off the block, good pickup. Chaos at the net. Castillo takes advantage though. She's one of the tallest on the court by far and really using her height to her advantage the last 2 points.
What a bold handset in transition there. That was such a good set.
It really was. 15 or 10 serving 15 here. Reminder, game is to 21. Little moment here. Sowers took some sand to the eye in all that chaos when she picked up that roll shot off the block there. So just giving her a bit of a breather here.
The forbidden kaleidoscope on the court. I hate that for us. That is never a good time.
See if Castillo targets her, and she does. Sowers sends that one long. I like the move from Manhattan Beach. If she's still got some lingering bit of sand in her eyes, take every bit of advantage you can get out of it. Targeting her short once again. That's going to be a good pass. And Van Winkle on the backside. Deflection. Lindahl unable to come up with it.
Van Winkle with a strong angle approach every single time. That's a really powerful high reach.
Overpass by Frohling. That one scored. Was that Van Winkle that came up from her serve and hit the overpass?
The self-service swing.
Absolutely the best way to get the best set you want. You just set it up yourself. Good little 1-2. That's been the interesting thing to watch, too, is some teams are bringing their blockers as they serve. They're running them up. Some teams that are so big in general, they just rotate one of their defenders up for that rotation. So another one of those small nuances we've been seeing variations of teams use, but Van Winkle taking full advantage there. Wood swings, blocked by Van Winkle, a recycle, another opportunity. Goes back to Castillo, tip over the top, nobody home. Both Wood and Castillo have been going to a couple more of the off-speed shots, working well for them here in the second set. Bump set. The angle is closed. The cover looks good from York, but the block from Castillo just that much better, and the way is shut.
Her setup on her block, like a strong, like almost hybrid, and then drop the inside hand. Taking notes.
Van Winkle chases that high line, but gets a bit away from her. Nice little side out there from Manhattan Beach, putting them down by just 3. Hannah Frohling to serve. This is what I talked about. They just move Wood up when Hannah's normally been holding that left front. Huge ace gets Van Winkle. And that's going to be a timeout taken. So just kind of those differences. This is what's kind of fun is it's such a unique take to volleyball that normally, you'll see grass, maybe 3s or 4s, but there's never really a commentary or a story told about that, how you can kind of move your blockers around. But indoor, you don't see someone they can't go back front row. When you're watching doubles, it's, you'll see people making that approach, but there's only one choice. You've got, unless you're doing a split block, you've got your blocker, you've got your defender. So it's kind of fun to watch some of these teams figure out what personnel do I have. And we've seen on the men's side with Team San Diego, they've got David Lee and Sean Cook working with a little bit of a 5-man that when they're serving, David Lee's on the court, and when they're receiving, Sean Cook is back in. So it's kind of a fun little 1-2 punch. We'll see that later on today, but very, very unique, something to keep track of for sure.
I agree. I love the creativity out of all these players. Like the unity it takes to be able to execute a plan like that obviously is a testament to their history with the game. I love to watch it.
Yeah, and definitely one of those that the players that adapt fastest are finding a lot more success, getting this format under their belt real quick.
Absolutely.
Frohling once again, getting a good result. Van Winkle takes a big swing. That one goes long. Looks for the touch, doesn't get it. We've got a game on our hands here. Michaels, Manhattan Beach making a late surge, down by just 2 now, 15-17. Sowers takes the first. Van Winkle makes back-to-back hitting errors, misses just wide. 16-17.
No, he just delayed on that. Yeah.
Tracked down by Sowers. Opportunity for a free ball kept alive. Great opportunity for Manhattan Beach. Wood out of the middle, rolls over.
Kahlee with 2 clutch digs in the cut.
That one's thrown down by Castillo. A little bit of a discussion about open-handed or not. It's deemed ball on the net. What they're looking at there, obviously, no open hand tips, but as soon as the ball breaks the plane, they're deeming it a blocking motion. We're having a little bit of disagreements here on the current score. Looks like we were a point late, so it's actually 18-17 Manhattan Beach. So what an easier way to get in the lead is just have us calling the score wrong. You get the freebie. Apologies on that one. Float serve goes wide for Frohling, tied at 18. Michael, we have a race to 3 in front of us here.
Love the aggressive serving. Like on both sides, I feel like that's been such a weapon.
Sowers, see if she hits that jump spin. She does, gets the overpass. Back to Sowers, put away. You couldn't have called that one better. You said just how much the serving pressure from these teams are working well. New Orleans takes the 1-point lead. And that's going to be a timeout taken on the side of Manhattan Beach. And it's going to be a brief timeout from us. We're going to take a breather. We'll be back here in just 1 minute's time. Don't go anywhere. And we're back here for the quick sprint at the end of the second set. Manhattan Beach looking to side out here and give themselves a second chance to push this one into set number 3. New Orleans, on the other hand, looking to close this out in 2 sets back-to-back and move on to tomorrow's semifinals. Good dig. Ball's going to be tight. Deflected and dug by Frohling. Wood takes a rip.
Oh, the teacup dig. Let's go.
Free ball coming, another opportunity. Wood is the option. Pushes this tip deep. I was about to say she had gone from big power swings. She had gone off speed, but then they were starting to get picked up. I wanted to see her kind of go back to the big swings, but this time sends that dink into the corner. Well rewarded and very timely. Now Wood back to...
Very impressive that she has all 3 of those tools on lock like that. Well done.
Hitting vocabulary is there. That corner opens up for Van Winkle. She needed to find a little bit of momentum back here, and no time better than the present. 2019 here for New Orleans. This is going to be match point Simo to serve. Goes short, kept alive. Wood opens up. Doug, Simo option on 2. And that's gonna do it. New Orleans takes this one 21-19. A lot of fight from Manhattan Beach, but just not enough. It is single loss elimination, so that will do it for Manhattan Beach's trip this weekend. And that's gonna mean New Orleans heads on to the semifinals to play one of the remaining 6 teams.
Love that for me.
Yeah, well done to both teams. Glad y'all are here. See y'all in the next round. I appreciate y'all's presence.
Yeah, we'll see you guys back here. The next match going live in about a half hour's time. We're going to hammer down that schedule for a little more, so keep an eye. Check out CvC on Instagram. You'll see all the latest updates there. We'll see you next time. This is Nick England and Michael Klinsman.